All right, people, we are here for Pokemaster versus Anna, the first match of week number 6. How you doing over there, Scorp?
I'm doing great, Emerald. What's going on, everyone? My name is Scorpion. Welcome to another BHDL recap. We're in week 6, so we've officially crossed the halfway point of the regular season here. Got two BHDL veterans here, right here with Chris versus Anna. Very much looking forward to this matchup. How you doing, Emerald?
We're doing great. We've got a couple berries on Pokemaster side. We got this Key Berry Altar. I'm very interested to see what we got. The Dual Wing Bee on deck for the Breloom.
Ooh, if this is potentially a focus slash Braylon, which I'm quite a big fan of, honestly, to get some big damage off straight away, put something to sleep, then this dual wing is going to break right through, which is why we're going to see Anna swap out immediately and go into the Torracat, which you're going to get the Intimidate off, and obviously dual wing was going to do nothing. First time seeing Torracat off the bench, if I'm not too mistaken, from Anna's side. You love to see it.
Yeah, I haven't really seen it too much, and we got the Bear on deck as well on the Slowking, so Pokemaster's bringing the berries this week.
Absolutely. Well, I saw a couple of other fire attacks, honestly. I saw a Choice Specs Rotom Heat, which I'm very much looking forward to see what it's going to do, and a Toxic Orb Tinkaton, so maybe that'll pull some trickery shenanigans off, there we go. But yeah, I'm going to see the Altaria get burnt out by a Will-O-Wisp. This Torracat obviously being able to put some status on the Altaria and make some progress, but now Rotom Heat's going to switch, and let's see how this responds. I actually don't know if Torracat does knockoff, or gets knockoff, sorry.
Has the Endeavor tech on deck. I've used Endeavor myself against Pokemaster, so he's got to be careful here, knowing that if you get this Torracat too low, then it can get massive damage off on something.
Yep. Also, interestingly enough, I believe we did see the Torracat actually outspeed the Rotom Heat there as well, so it's actually maybe speed creeping, or maybe Chris is running an exceptionally slow Rotom to get the pivot out. We're going to be able to pivot out into that Muck, and as we can, Choice Specs Voltor is doing absolutely nothing, so let's see how Chris wants to respond to this wall that is Muck here. And we also see Heracross levitating, which I love to see.
Yes, love to see anytime you have a Levitate Mon or a Flying type Mon, you send out a Pokemon that you don't think is going to fly, but, Heracross all of a sudden has the ability. It does have the wings, I guess, but, unlike Mega Pinsir, it did not gain the Flying type.
Yep. I think my favorite one of those definitely is Curon Black, just randomly being able to levitate and have this hulking monster just levitate above the ground. We're going to see a Facade come off here that is Guts boosted, and it nearly takes out the mug, expertly evaded by Anna there, but unfortunately going to go for a Curse here, which I don't think is going to be able to allow her to survive another hit. So this Heracross, once again doing what it does best, being a premier wall breaker and taking down this muck.
Yes, and Anna does have the Terra on deck, and is indeed Terra Ghost, so great play by Pokemaster going for the knockoff here.
Ooh, beautiful prediction indeed, trying to just get that hit off. But Anna does go for a nice little Terra Ghost Shadow Snake. Obviously not going to have a chance to poison it because it is already burnt. But it does obviously do a nice little bit of Desperation Chip as Heracross claims the first kill off the mat. But very, very well played by Chris to time or read the timing on Anna's Terra for perfection. By getting the Facade on the first turn, knowing she wasn't going to Terra, and then knocking off on the turn she would have been immune to Facade otherwise.
Yes, and this Muck has been wreaking chaos, havoc across the season, so him being able to deal with it promptly like that is going to put him in a very good position.
Absolutely. As this Torracat now actually comes and outspeeds Heracross. How fast is this cat, ladies and gentlemen?
I need to look at this thing. What is this thing's speed stat? Because Heracross isn't that slow.
Absolutely, especially because the Alolan starters are quite literally known for being slow, and as we can see, it's not even Scarf, so what is going on with these speeds? I love this Torracat set from Anna, that is beautiful.
Torracat has a base 90 speed stat. I forgot about that, Scorp. It just got so slow when it evolved.
Oh yeah, it gets faster when it's in that state, and then it gets slower as it evolves, doesn't it? That's beautiful.
So Anna, being able to make use of that 90 base speed there, is putting in the work, being able to take out Pokemaster's most valuable Pokemon.
Absolutely, I absolutely love the work that this Torracat has been putting in. We're now going to see Cyclizar into the Tinkaton here. Obviously, not going to be able to do much against it unless we see a big overheat coming, which that's going to be the case. So yep, Anna's going to make the safe play and U-turn out. We're going to get the switch out to see what comes back in here. But yeah, again, I freaking love the way the Torracat's been used in this game so far.
Yeah, so just being able to Parting Shut Out and Intimidate, just neuter some of Pokemaster's threats. Here it is again!
Here it is again, indeed. And as we can see, it is actually not own Tempo Tinkaton, so that Intimidate will still find its mark. But yeah, Anna now going to be in a position whether she's going to, is she going to go for a Parting Shot to try and get some momentum, or is she going to try and take this thing out of Flare Blitz? We'll see.
Well, you know what? You know what else Anna has in the Torracat? Remember what I said earlier about its HP getting low?
All right, Endeavor. So this could absolutely be a big trap for the Rotom coming in. As we can see, it does end up coming out, and as we can see, it was slower. But now Adam said making the safe play and going for the parting shot to grab momentum on the Rotom. It is definitely chipped, but there's no rocks up yet, so it definitely could come back in once more to get that Intimidate.
Yes, indeed. The Cyclozar's back in. It's kind of just been a lot of pivoting around. There's not been any hazards, like you said. I would have liked to have seen some of that. These guys are just free to just keep on switching around.
Absolutely. I'm a little bit surprised that Anna is so comfortable with this position up against the Rotom with the Cyclozar. But as we can see there, dropping a nice big Draco Meteor would have done quite a lot of damage to the Rotom, which dare I say is not recoverable. But Chris finding that position into the Slowking and being able to absorb that nicely. However, Anna's still going to be able to put it below half and get momentum now with his U-turn.
Rasputia comes in. The Alomola gonna cancel out its ability to get HP from Regenerator, I believe. As,
my good friend.
does that not work like that?
Nope. Regenerate.
You know, I keep thinking it works like that, but you know, I guess it doesn't.
To the dismay of many who have fought Alomola balanced teams on the OU ladder, Psychic Noise does not stop Regenerator.
Yeah, you know, in the back of my head, I was like, wait, does it or does it not? So I guess we're gonna get confirmation here after it switches out.
No, it absolutely does not. I know for a fact. Although I do actually really like the Calm Mind Slowking tech from Chris here. Knowing that this Alomola could have potentially switched in on it and being able to just abuse that passively. As we can see, that Playroof did absolutely nothing. So this Slowking actually just in a good position to go to town with its stabs. Obviously, Skull potentially threatening a bird on something. And Psychic Noise, well, it's not going to deny the Regenerator, but it is going to deny that Wish. As you can see, it puts Alomola in a really, really tough spot.
He's going to be able to flip turn out, but can at least get something else now to be able to make use of that Wish.
Yep. Unfortunately, Cyclozar, I believe, is going to come in, and it is going to be able to go for that Psychic Noise. Does do a bit of damage. I wonder if that's a Soul Vest, actually, because that didn't do a whole lot despite being a +1, but it does indeed cancel out the Wish. So beautiful. I'm loving this Slowking set from Chris at the moment.
Yes, we saw the text that it was prevented from healing. So the Regenerator core just able to switch in, switch out, continue to bring it in. I forgot that this thing is not a dark type yet, so
I know it looks like one. Yeah, I was a bit surprised by that as well, but no, it only gains the dark typing when it evolves into Incineroar, so going to be able to claim a KO with that, and that gives Anna a bit of momentum back. So now Breloom is going to come in once again, but again, great, just abusing Alolomola's passivity there and getting some damage off with Slowking.
Yes, but Breloom is now in, and it's going to try to get some damage off on something. But the 4 times resisted Bullet Seed, even though it's going to come off with massive power, is going to eat it up. And now the Key Berry activation as well.
Yep, I'm very, very curious to see what Chris is going to want to do with this. I feel like Anna might be a little bit afraid of a potential safety goggles on Chris's team, which is why she's not going for the Spore. Perhaps she's not going for it this week, but going to be able to find that spot into the Alomola now. And the Rocky Helmet's really going to punish that dual wing beat. And because Alomola is, you know, again, now has a Regenerator back online, it's going to be able to flip turn and get all of that HP back once again.
Yes, indeed. I do believe that, I mean, you can, of course, Spore the Altaria, but it does have the natural cure to at least be able to heal it up once it switches out, so that might kind of be mitigating her from doing that.
Yep, gonna find a position now into the Tornadoes. This thing does, I believe, get Icy Wind, so Chris not wanting to take an opportunity there. I believe Altaria is his Terra Captain, I believe, no? So he may just not want to Terra it. Gonna instead find that position into the Cloudzyre to absorb that Bleak Windstorm. Still doing quite a lot, though, honestly.
Goes for the taunt, but Claude is going to go straight for that Poison Jab. Does a decent chunk and gets the poison as well.
Ooh, great play from Chris there, knowing that taunt was potentially an option and being able to you know shut down this Tornadoes from whittling you down. It may not be able to, you know, it may be able to prevent you from recovering, but it does mean that it's still not going to take a lot of damage from Poison Jab. And now it's below half and poisoned. So Anna obviously acknowledging that she has to switch out and going to go back into the Eleanor. But if this thing gets poisoned, that could also potentially be huge. As some more Rocky Helmet chip is taken.
This Alomola just continues to just be a menace. This Mon is such a good defensive Pokemon, Scorpion, I'm telling you.
Absolutely, it is phenomenal. Although we do have 2 bulky water types that carry Regenerate in this match, so it could potentially be a bit of a longer game. We're going to see the Wish coming through once again, and instead, you know, acknowledging that Psychic Noise will prevent any other target from receiving the Wish, that she just decides to heal the Alomola back up to full herself. But now the question is, which of these 2 is going to be slower, and which 2 gets the momentum?
Yes, and it is going to be the Alomomola that is faster.
Although I did notice that Chris is actually not packing Chilly Reception here, so it is going to be a little bit of a sitting duck, but still Psychic Noise going to do a decent chunk here, and it's going to once again prevent that Cyclozar from healing. Now, unfortunately, this thing could have Regenerator as well, so obviously we have a bit of a Regenerator core from Anna here, but goes to the Draco Meteor and unfortunately misses, so that gives Chris a free Calm Mind, potentially making this Slowking a pretty big threat once again.
Yeah, at this point, my honestly not be a bad idea. Just start stacking Calm Minds and healing up. That might be one of the few ways you could beat this Alomomola. If you can get enough boosts. No Scald Burn there. But they're running very low on Psychic Noises.
Yep, I just realized that Chris actually not PP maxing his moves there in this battle, or at least not the Psychic Noise. That could potentially come back to haunt him. You know, that's one of the advantages of Jenning, my ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, indeed. I experienced that as well when I was using my shiny Azumarill and I did not PP max my moves.
Yeah, that's rough. I'm gonna now flip turn back into the Breloom here, and unfortunately for Anna, catching a big Psychic Noise there. Perhaps Anna was expecting a Scald or something else, but yeah, that's gonna find its mark on the Breloom, and it was not focused sash, so down it goes. So this Slowking is absolutely putting in the work here, although Chris may now have to be a little bit careful of a potential U-turn or knockoff, scoring a KO in return.
Just barely manages to live the U-turn, so now something else is going to have to take this +1 Psychic Noise.
3 HP as the Alomomola finds its way back in. Gonna go for the Psychic Noise. Does about half, not too bad, but it is obviously now in KO range of pretty much any move. We're gonna see if Chris wants to switch out. As you can see, it is not Water Absorb Clodsire this week, so it's not gonna be able to block that Flip Turn, excuse me, but Anna just accounting that for that just in case, and decides to just take the Slowking out with Play Rough instead, but not before it put a serious dent into her team, honestly. I love that set.
Slowking put in some good work, and now I'm going to be able to go for a free Volt Switch. Doesn't really have too many switch-ins.
Yep. Going to be able to go for Choice Specs Volt Switch, and that easily takes out the Alomomola there. No ground type on Anna's side there, and I believe Cyclozar... was Cyclozar already gone? I can't really remember too well. But of course, Choice Spec still very, very strong. And even if you do switch out, it would give you momentum anyway. So I'm going to go into the Mold Breaker Tinkaton now. Let's see what comes out from Anna's side. It is going to be the Tornadus. So I wonder if this thing's going to pack Heat Wave.
Does indeed, but Tinkaton's natural Spadef is able to tank it and then return the KO with the Gigaton Hammer.
This Tinkaton just asked if this Tornadus is a calm and reasonable person. Shout out to anyone who gets that reference.
The Cyclozar is still alive. We'll see if it can be able to knock out this Tinkaton before it goes for Play Rough.
Yeah, it seems to be a bit of an offensive Cyclozar, so if there is an overheat on deck here potentially, that could definitely take out the Tinkaton from here, or maybe like a Temper Flare from a mix set. I'm going to be interested to see what Anna is packing on the Cyclozar. I'm also kind of curious just about the item in general. Could maybe be specs. I mean, that Slowking obviously didn't take much from that Draco Meteor at all, but as we see, it is mixed indeed. It does go for Temper Flare, and that is enough to take the Tinkaton out. So again, I'm loving the offensive Cyclozar rep here. Very even game at the moment.
Well, Pokemaster still does have 3 Pokemon left, though. It's Cyclozar versus the world at this point. Let's see. It does have the Draco Meteor that it could potentially kill this Altaria with.
I said even game because I thought it was free. Is it bad that I only felt that he only had like... I didn't realize Anna was down to her last Pokemon, but yep. Gonna go for the dual Wing Beat now. Draco Meteor not quite enough to score the KO, which is very, very unfortunate. I don't think it's going to be able to survive this next one though. Nope, as Anna does indeed make it close at least and knocks Chris down to 2, but I don't think the Cyclozar's going to have the muscle to get past these last 2 Pokemon here.
Yeah, your best move might be like Temper Flare or Knockoff to hit this thing with, and we'll see how much Earthquake can do in return.
Yep, Draco Meteor not going to do much of anything at all. Wait, is this Clodsire unaware or is it Water Absorber? I'm confused now, I didn't even see.
I'm not sure.
Oh, wait, it is Water Absorb, because otherwise surely it would be taking more from that Draco Meteor.
Yeah, right? It should be Water Absorb because, yeah, but she must have thought that it might have been unaware.
Yeah.
And so she tried to go for it.
In that case, I might be a little bit confused as to why Chris never tried to block the Flip Turn from the Alomomola with its Water Absorb Clodsire, but perhaps he was afraid of some kind of other tech. But yeah, still a solid win for Chris there. GG's to both sides.
GG's. All right, so we are here with Al versus Stefan. We've got the Choice Scarf Moltres. I'm telling you, this man loves to just run choice items on his anything but heavy-duty boots on his Moltres.
I absolutely love it, bro. Absolutely good shot. And once again, dude, Al, where, like, Emerald, tell me, does this man have a Blastoise? Like, does this one exist? This is
You
like
know,
the 4th week in a row that we've seen him benched or something.
it is fair, and to be fair, he is facing a Tentacruel, and, well, I don't know how bulky Floretzer is, but, you know, Mon's that wall at stab move and, like, Ice Beam coverage and things like that, so I can't blame him too much for it, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Stefan is definitely not above bringing an Assault Vest Clawitzer as well. I think we've definitely seen that a couple of games. But
I think he loves to lead off with this thing. This Clawitzer is like his new mascot almost.
I know, right? Yeah, gotta lead off with it, gonna find this position to the Hitmonchan and immediately Terrasilize. Let's see what this Terra type is gonna be. It is going to be Terra Water, so absolutely gonna put on the hurt and try to be a wall breaker. I wonder if this Water Pulse will just straight up KO. Let's see.
Hitmonchan's Naturals for Death is gonna tank it.
Does get the confusion though, and not quite going to be able to get the kill. And this Hitmonchan does about equal damage in return with a close combat. And as we can see, it's also eject back once more, so they can really get the slow pivot out. But still, Clawitzer, like, is this thing faster than Hitmonchan, or is that just Scarf? I feel like Clawitzer is actually really, really slow usually, if I'm not mistaken.
Hitmonchan isn't the fastest thing itself. It might come down to investment.
Ah, that's true. Right, as we see the Persian come out now with the Clear Amulet. Love that item choice. I'm sure that's going to be useful this game. But we're going to see Stefan now switch out, of course, in fear of potentially a fake out or some other priority move. As Tentacruel comes into the double edge. But as we know, Tentacruel's defense stat nowhere near as good as its special defense. It's going to take half for that double edge. Loki, I actually strangely really like Persian when it comes to like offensive roles.
Yeah, you know, it might actually be Scarf Clawitzer. Because it's like 59 base speed compared to 73, 74 commit Hitmonchan.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we're getting the confusion there, very, very tough. But yeah, Persian now again getting the outsped on the Tentacruel here and actually taking it out. So very much putting in the work for Al already and knocking Stefan down to 5 Pokemon early. So let's see how he responds. Persian, I believe, pretty decently fast as well. So might be a little bit tough to respond. But we're going to see the Sandaconda switch in now, which especially if it's Rocky Helmet, going to take hits for days.
Yes, although Al does have a couple things that they can switch in. Yeah, it's actually 76 base speed on Hitmonchan, so yeah, I'm almost certain that thing must be Scarf Clawitzer.
Yep. I see the U-turn now. No Rocky Helmet on the Sandaconda as we're going to try and find a switch in here. If Al is just going to try and get in this Moltres right here, right now, before the Stealth Rocks go up, as we can see, he does not have a way to remove them, so if the Sandaconda starts putting them up, that could be rough.
Wait, did the Hitmonchan not have Rapid Spin?
Maybe it did, actually. Maybe it did. I forgot. But
running no removal without Boots Moltres that's just too far for me.
Absolutely. As we see a coil scale shot set come out from Stefan. I think this is an Uzi, not an Uzi Gunner. This is a Mephisto special, I believe. As we see Al counter with the Reflect. No Terra on this Sandaconda though, unfortunately. Yeah, the Hitmonchan does have Rapid Spin. I just kind of forgot because Blastoise isn't here. But we're going to see Reflect being put up from Yuxi now. And definitely going to wall this Sandaconda to the ends of the earth. So maybe a little bit earlier for Stefan to set up. But no, he's saying like, nope, I don't care about you, Yuxi. I'm going to call in your face anyway. And I mean, it's not the first that we've seen Al get a bit overwhelmed by the bulky setup threats. So let's see how he responds this time.
He does have this Duraludon, which could hit it with on the special side with the Draco. Interested to see how Sandaconda takes this.
Yep, it is not any boosting at it, but it's a Violite Duraludon. But Draco Meteor going to come off, and still, because of its great attack stat, it is able to outspeed and get an Earthquake off before dying. But that Draco Meteor nails it right and takes it right out. So Al definitely just finding the answers for Stefan's threat right now. Obviously, that Reflect did really, really help. But yeah, I'm impressed that this Duraludon's both hit-taking capabilities and its ability to just drop Dracos and, yep, just drop other things.
Yeah, he did manage to do a good chunk to it, though. And now what we assume is a Scarf Clawitzer is in, and it's now willing to get a big hit on something else.
Absolutely. Of course, no light screen up on this side. And Duraludon's special defense nowhere near as good as its physical defense. So an Aura Sphere could absolutely just nail it right and KO it. We're going to see Al stay in here. And the Dark Pulse comes out. Actually not enough to KO, and no flinch either, which takes out the Clawitzer. I wonder if that just meant he didn't have Aura Sphere, or if it was a bit of an over-prediction. But yeah, Duraludon putting into work right now.
Yeah, I feel like Aura Sphere was kind of safe, unless he didn't want to let Moltres come in after. That might have been the thing. But then, even if they went for Dark Pulse, Diancie just comes in too, so...
Absolutely, especially because, like, I'm pretty sure Al does know it's Scarf at this point. But we're going to see the Chandelure come out of this mon is actually in a really, really tough position, or in a really strong position, sorry, because Shadow Balls and Fire Blasts do hit Al's team really, really hard. He does have resistances to either, but he does not have resistances to both. So, and he is indeed not going to make a risky switch into anything else and just lets the Duraludon go down. But we'll see if this Chandelure can actually make a comeback here for Stefan, as he claims the first KO there.
He does have this Persian, which should just be able to outspeed it and go for a bite. I mean, Technician Boost, I'm not sure if it's going to kill, though.
Oh, not even doing half. This could potentially be a bulky Chandelure, as we do see the weakness policy being triggered on Stefan's side, as he goes for a flame charge, brother. This Chandelure just got very, very dangerous very quickly.
The most powerful Chandelure in the world!
Absolutely, bro. Well,
we saw the setup on the Sandaconda. Now he's set up on the Chandelure.
Absolutely, bro. There's no scarf, no specs, shenanigans here. We're going straight for the win right here, as it does take it out with an energy ball and knocks Al down to 4. I'm loving this Chandelure tech from Stefan. This is part of the pump, but this is heat.
Yes. Now we do have the Scarf Moltres to try to stop it, but you're gonna have to successfully land a Hurricane, which they do.
Love the dramatic zoom in here. This is why we love Al's videos with the edits. But he does actually manage to land the Hurricane, outspeeding Chandelure there and getting the KO on it with that flying type move, which knocks Stefan already down to 2. So this is a very, very fast game. Let's see if Galvantula can pull something back here, especially because Al does not have a ground type. No electric immunities on the team. So Thunder is relatively free.
Yes, he's down to his last 2 Mons over there. He's only got this Galvantula and the Farigiraf.
Yep, as we did see though in the past, we did actually Farigiraf really come through for Stefan with an amazing sweep against H.I.M. So never count Stefan out if he has this mod available. He's definitely shown to be what's it called, competent with it. But we're going to see a Volt Switch now, forcing Moltres out, knowing it can't press a Fire type move, and they're going to go now find its way into the Uxie with Farigiraf. And I believe, yep, it does not have Encore this week, so it can't really disrupt it from going for any kind of setup outside of screens.
Yes, they do have a light screen to try to mitigate this thing, but indeed there we do see the agility. This Farigiraf could become a beast and spiral out of control.
Yep, I just now realized that's why like this is the title that Al put on these, and stop setting up
so much setup. If you have enough setup, Pucky, just keep throwing them at them until they do something.
Yeah, this is hyper offense, brother. This is what we love to see. I love it.
Yes, now we did see Al actually go for Reflect there with the Uxie. They might have been expecting this to potentially, Farigiraf does have decent attacks, so perhaps expecting a physical set, or a mix set. But that wasted turn of that Reflect, we'll see. I mean,
if they have Psyshock, then Reflect is the one that reduces it, I believe, not Light Screen. Although I could be wrong on that.
Actually, I do think it's still Light Screen.
You're right. Actually. Bro, I figured this out in a battle against Al myself. How did I forget? Anyway.
Now, hey, listen. You correct me. I correct you. We between us, we know all the Pokemon knowledge.
Exactly. That's what we love to see. Okay, we're gonna have a
Diancie has broken the screen.
Yeah, Diancie's Diamond Storm was too powerful. It breaks the screen. This Farigiraf, though, I think like this could be a serious trouble here. Honestly, if the screen wants to go back to normal, thank you.
Yes. It did quite a chunk, but the Farigiraf is so boosted.
Yep. Oh, it does now have a Diamond Storm boost. Oh, it does have stored power though, and Diancie actually does go down. No Psyshock needed, and there is also no Psychic Resists left. Oh wait, we also have the Uxie, but obviously that's weak to, well, not weak. That is neutral to Hyper Voice. So I wonder if this Moltres is going to be able to take it out from here.
Does manage to barely survive. Goes for the Brave Bird, but it's not enough.
Not enough, and the recoil actually takes it out so close with the Farigiraf. But unfortunately now, I think this might be game, because if this is Armor Tail, like again, just like
he's got to hope that he's not Armor Tail and that he misginned it, but it's not.
And he is. Yep, he is Armor Tail. Wow. So just like before, we see Stefan. I said it, man, that I spoke it into existence. Stefan getting the Farigiraf comeback, and I don't know if we've seen the other move yet, but let's see if it's enough to take out this Uxie here. And yep, Hyper Voice. Oh, not quite enough to take it out. So U-Turn actually gets the Farigiraf taken out, but unfortunately the Galvantula is still around. So I think that's going to be able to finish off the game here. With Uxie only at 38 HP and no other Pokemon left alive. All Al can do is click Psyshock, and yep, super effective Bug Buzz will take it out. Man, Stefan, respect for that Farigiraf set though, brother. That was really, really well played.
GG's, incredible by Stefan. All right, we have a very important match here, Scorpion. We have Kingbura versus Cody. two of the top-ranked coaches in the draft league this season. What are we thinking here, Score?
Absolutely loving the team from both sides here, Emerald. Going to be a very, very high-stakes game. We see Choice Band Lycanroc on Kingbura set, and also a Choice Scarf Primarina, which I'm absolutely very, very fan of. I think both of them are look really, really good into Cody's team. We do see pretty much the standard mons from Cody's side, although no Hisui and Gudra, actually. So that's a very interesting one. Although, of course, Kingbura's team does have a lot of ways to answer it. As we can see, almost all of these mons, you know, Primarina is pretty much the only Pokemon on this team that it was, so I can very much understand not seeing it. We're going to get into it here. I'm very excited for this game. I also just noticed that in the comments of this video, it all says, like, fire game, and it was a good match. So you have my attention. You have my attention.
Yes, indeed. We have the lead Milotic versus the lead two bulky waters once again.
Right away, yeah. This Milotic annoyed the ever-living crap out of Lazyboi last week, so we're going to see if it's packing just as good of attacks in this match. Going to be interesting to see, though, if it is actually packing some kind of way to dispatch this Primarina, because Primarina, as we know, does have access to Energy Ball, so does not have it, but definitely could be threatening.
Let's have the Psychic Noise to stop any potential. Oh, yep, there was the Recover.
Cody, do you mind explaining to me why you went for Recover on turn 1?
Maybe they were expecting an Energy. They were scouting for Energy Ball, and then we're going to see if they have and then recover it off.
Yeah, probably some kind of scout. I mean, that's still a valid play. I'm just a little bit curious about the thought process. But Cody now going to withdraw the Milotic here, and he's going to come in with the Serena here. As another Psychic Noise will come up. That didn't do a whole lot. I wonder if that's a Solvest Serena.
Could be. I mean, it's not Stab, and it's a Psychic Noise isn't too strong, but you know, I do think that they've run AV Serena in the past.
Yes, I mean, I do actually think AV is like Serena's best step by far, because that's actually what allows it to rapid spin on a lot of things, obviously. And we do see a knockoff come out here from the Serena, which will knock off Cabalans. I believe it was holding an Assault Vest itself, but it will trigger Justified. So let's see if Kingbura can actually do something with this +1 attack boost here.
We'll see that. I think they're going for Iron Defense here, or maybe Iron Head, or Heavy Slam. Yep, Iron Defense.
The Milotic is going to come in here, and yep, it is indeed Iron Defense. So it's an Iron Defense body press set from what I'm expecting. We do see the Flame Orb on Milotic, though. So this is obviously a Marvel scale Milotic set this week. And that means that its defense is going to be through the roof right now. So we'll see if Kingbura wants to keep his Pokemon healthy a little bit more. Obviously, eating a Skull Burn at this point would be very tough, because yes, a burn does weaken the power of body press, so you do not want to be crippled by that. Does indeed decide to stay in, though, and still does heaps with body press, honestly. And if he gets another Iron Defense, this Milotic could be in serious trouble.
Yeah, and they do have the taunt. They're going to provoke this Milotic to not go for Recovery and instead go for an attacking move.
Ooh, it went for a haze. Thank you, Kingbura, for telling me with the text. That would have been a really, really annoying tech, like for the Cobalion to deal with, because then it can't really boost through. But because of the taunt, it's actually able to prevent that. So I'm really, really loving kind of the way that both of these coaches try to counteract each other. You know, you've got the counter, but Kingbura's got the counter for the counter. So playing some big mind games here.
Yes, and we do have the Steel-type coverage. Ooh, but we have the... it's Baviri Berry, right? Is that the one that does Steel-type moves?
Baviri Berry, indeed. But he does get that flames, unfortunately. So this Pheasantipity is not going to be able to do much to it at all. As Cody is indeed going to be forced to withdraw that once again as Milotic comes back out. Of course, Kingbura does immediately threaten a taunt back on it, so you gotta wonder if Cody's just gonna take his losses and go for a Scald, or attempt to get catch Kingbura going greedy and going for a body press. Let's see, as he does indeed go for that body press, and yep, he does just fire off a Scald. I think great play from both sides, but that does mean that Milotic is now weakened.
Yes, thankfully for Kingbura, there wasn't a burn. And now Cristiano just continues to just sit here and just spam body presses.
Absolutely, as I do love seeing my own name pop up in the top left corner for the friend list, but I love the little football edit.
Nice little cameo there.
Yep, nice little cameo there, as we also see the nice little football edit, and the Cobalion is going to be able to score the KO on the Milotic there. So beautiful set from Kingbura. I honestly love me some Iron Defense body press strategies in draft. I don't know about you, Emerald.
Yes, I've used that a few times myself, and you know, I mean, like getting rid of the Milotic is great for his not only his Hippo but also his Lycanroc. You know, that big physical wall has now been gone.
Absolutely, as we see Espeon come out with a Psychic here, and it is going to be able to do enough damage to dispatch the Cobalion. But still, trading Cobalion for Milotic might very well be a very good trade for Kingbura's team, because as we see, the Lycanroc, the Hippowdon, the Primarina, none of these mons appreciate Milotic switching in and being annoying to them. So that could very, very much be a worthy trade for Kingbura. Now we're going to get a free switch into the Espeon, and we're going to go into the Assault Vest Electivire.
Yes, and now they can force a switch here and get rid of an item off on something else.
Yep, we're going to see a knockoff indeed come out. I wonder what Cody's response to this though, because he does have a team where like his mods don't really appreciate removing items. As Cody is going to switch in the Palmot there and knocks off a Sugar Berry, so that obviously puts this thing immediately in danger against the Selectivire, because as we know it does have Earthquake, and I don't think Palmot can do anything to take it out in one shot.
I don't think so. And you know, Electivire is one of those mons that, like, you look at the rest of his team. Well, they do have like the Pheasantipity. I'm not sure what it can do, but they also have this Hippo that can come in and potentially set rocks for later.
Yep. Just realized this Hippano is packing an ice move. What freaking ice move? Is Ice Fang? Does it get Ice Fang?
Ice Fang, yeah.
I was wondering like what kind of ice type move does Hippowdon get, but of course it does get Ice Fang. We now see the Super Fang tech come out from Cody here on this Palmot, which I personally love to see. Otherwise, obviously it can't really do much to this Hippowdon, but that's a nice little way to get it below 50%. And I'm just in general, I'm honestly really liking that Cody's been using Palmot this season. Very, very solid wall breaker. As not quite gonna put it in range of close combat, unfortunately, but Kingbura does, I believe, expect him to. Yep. Well, it doesn't overpredict, but he does go for a slack off, so this Palmot will live to fight another day.
Yeah, and I mean, Kingbura, he wins this 1v1, but with the chip from both the sand and the rocky helmet, anything this Palmot goes for, it's just not going to be able to beat it.
Yep, it goes for another Super Fang there. It is a contact move still, so that will do some rocky helmet, and Kingbura said, you know what, I have enough of this Palmot, let me just Earthquake it out of here, and there it goes. So down Palmot goes. Kingbura definitely with a bit of an early lead at the moment, but obviously we are still seeing things on his side being chipped as well, so we'll see if Cody's able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, you know, I would have liked to honestly see the slack off there just to keep this thing healthy, because now with this thing being this chip, something else could come in and pick it off. Because like I said, you would have been able to chip down the Palmon either way. But, you know, I get it. You just want to get rid of it.
Absolutely, as we do see another Psychic come off. Espeon with the second Revenge kill. You know, this Espeon actually does not have any resistances to its Psychic step. There's no Dark types on this team whatsoever. So if this Espeon is Specs, brother, that could be dangerous.
It just keeps coming in every single time. And I think that the potential for it being Specs is why he's not going out into this AV Electivire. Because although you could probably take one normally, if it's Specs, it might get 2 KO'd.
Absolutely here. So definitely every single time this Espeon gets into position, and as we know, it does also have a very solid base 110 speed tier. It is going to be able to, you know, get us some big damage. But unfortunately, right as I say that, Electivire is actually able to retaliate back with a knockoff and takes the Espeon down. And it was, in fact, Choice Scarf, which is why it was kind of being Cody's tool for revenge killing here, and also why it did not to a KO. But as you know, as we both so seen, we are watching this from Kingbura's perspective. It was a very reasonable assumption to make that it was Specs, which is obviously makes a lot of sense why he didn't switch it in.
Yeah, even like you always try to assume the worst possible. Oh, geez, the EQ just takes out Electivire there.
Yep. Very bit of a surprise that the Gligar actually outspeeds Electivire. There might be some interesting thing going on with the speed tiers, but I know Electivire's not the fastest. He did have Ice Punch on deck, so if it did outspeed the Gligar, it might have gotten some serious damage off. But I believe we're now sitting in a 3 versus 3 situation. Going to be interested to see how this unfolds from here on, because again, because the Isui and Gudra is not here, this Primarina kind of lacks switch-ins, and if this this Ice Beam is such a solid neutral ground play, because it covers both the Serena coming in as well as the Gligar staying in, which is why I really actually respect the play from Cody going into Pheasantipity and sort of predicting that.
Yeah, you know, if there's one thing that these lower tiers that teach me, it's about these speed tiers of these mons that I don't normally know. So Gligar has 85 base speed versus Electivire's 95. So unless he's running like low speed Electivire and like max speed Gligar, I mean, I don't know. Have you ever seen a Scarf Gligar set score, guys?
I can't say I have. No, I've never seen even Scarf Glide score either. But we're going to see the Pheasantipity now forcing out the Primarina, obviously not wanting to take a poison move. But it does give Kingbura the opportunity to go in with his Choice Banded Lycanroc for free. So we'll see if he uses that to any meaningful effect.
Appears to be questioning whether or not he should switch out. I mean, a Banded Lycanroc can pretty much almost force a kill here on anything left on his team if he gets the play right.
Absolutely. Although this is tough because the Gligar, I believe, is still around at the full health. So I think he's going to go for a nice little powerful Stone Edge. Not quite enough to get the KO on the Vezinipity here, as it is going to use now. No Toxic Change, so that's definitely good for Kingbura. But now he's going to be able to switch in with the Gligar completely for free. Indeed, it's completely at full.
I'm really surprised that Banded Stone Edge did not kill that Vezinipity. That had to have been like Fizz Def Vezinipity to tank that.
Absolutely. I also don't even actually know. I mean, obviously Stone Edge is not a contact move, but I wonder if that would have actually like KO'd us if it was like Dusk Lycanroc, you know?
Oh yeah. Does it have slightly higher attack? I can't remember.
I'm gonna fact check it right now. Hold on, take over for me. I'm just curious.
Yeah. As the Lycanroc does indeed actually go down to the Gligar Scorpion, so I think this might actually be a Scarf Gligar.
That would obviously be a fire attack, especially because Kingbura, I don't know if, I haven't seen his team too much, but it definitely could be that he has a little bit of a ground weakness, so that could be a very, very unexpected way to take advantage of it. Obviously, it does have the natural bulk to check Lycanroc naturally, so Cody instead might have made the decision to not bother with the Violet and instead run an offensive set this week.
Perhaps so, as I don't think that Ice Beam is going to quite be able to take out Serena. I do believe it is AV, like you were saying, just out of range of the next one killing. So now, Kingbura has to try to make a play here.
Indeed, spicy situation of whether or not this next Ice Beam is going to be clicked and whether or not it will kill. Obviously, there is also Fraser crit chances involved. I just double-checked, by the way. Dusk Lycanroc form has 2 points of attack more than regular
I did think it was slightly higher.
Yeah, it was literally 2 points, though. It's regular Lycanroc is 115 attack, Lycanroc Dusk is 117. But yeah, gonna knock off this Salazzle's Focus Sash here, though, doing quite a lot of damage. But now, obviously, Salazzle should be faster, so going to be forced to switch out again. And we're going to see the Vezinipity be sacked off now to a, well, not a poison move, but potentially a flamethrower later. He's going to go for the overheat, actually, that takes out...
Yeah, missed the first overheat, managed to land the second one, thankfully.
Oh, okay, I did pay attention to the fact that he actually did click the fire move and it just missed.
Yep.
But yeah, now we're going to be able to get back in with the Gligar. Are we going to see a Gligar endgame here, ladies and gentlemen?
I think so, although the Primarina still has a lot of health. I don't think it's going to be able to take it out with Earthquake, but I think this Salazzle might be going down to this Gligar.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no shot in hell it's taking this Earthquake. Kingbura now carefully considering his options, whether he still wants to keep this Salazzle around or not. It is obviously a -2 attack. This will obviously reveal for sure whether this is Choice Scarf Gligar. I'm not sure if we've really seen it before. We're obviously leaning towards it. And obviously,
I think it outsped the Lycanroc.
Oh yeah, it did. Forgot about that. When I was checking the stats, so do excuse me.
Yeah.
But you see, what I also like about this Gligar is because of its immunity ability, you can actually pretty freely switch into Salazzle as long as you don't take an overheat, because even if you do get a poison, it's just not going to matter, you know?
Yeah, it can't be poisoned. Yep, there indeed is the EQ as Salazzle goes down to the Scarf Gligar.
Yep. Gligar actually does still have like an acceptable attack stat, so definitely is still like a set that you can run. As a second Arena is going to come in now, and they're going to try and go for that Ice Beam endgame. Earthquake will do about half, but unfortunately not going to be able to take it out, as a Ice Beam will take out the Primarina. So this game kind of come down extremely close,
right,
but no hazards, brother. Yep, no hazards, brother, though. So this could potentially, I mean, maybe a high roll with Ice Beam, maybe a crit, maybe a freeze. We'll see, but I think this is in Cody's favor, as we do see Ice Beam, and yep, no crits, no hacks, no freezes, and Power Whip will take it out. Actually, the Power Whip could have potentially missed as well, which would have been very poetic, but yep.
Oh, yeah.
Cody defying the odds of all potential hacks and getting the win there. But yeah, that was game of the week for me so far. GG's to both sides.
GG's to both. All right, we're here with Brandon versus Fournaubyl. Brandon needs to get some more, almost win out the whole rest of the season to be able to make playoffs. Fournaubyl still looking for their first victory. What are we thinking here, score?
Well, I definitely have seen. It's kind of interesting actually, because Brandon obviously had Mandibuzz on his team before, and now he has to face off against it because of Fournaubyl going against. So there's a bit of a betrayal here on, on this side. Indeed. So the Mandibuzz that was once
turncoat.
Yep, it was once a Piedmont Triad Kicker, now it finds itself on the city powering Regis here. But I'm loving the teams from both sides for sure. Hopefully,
lots of berries from Brandon this week.
Yep, this is a bit of a berry week in general, but I also love this no attack Clodsire, Emerald. What do you think about that?
Oh
It
yeah,
has
the
no attacks
quag.
whatsoever.
Hey, listen, all it needs is the rocks, Scorba, and T-spikes. These beautiful, beautiful T-spikes.
Hmm. I'm also loving this, by the way. It seems to me that Brandon has adopted the way of the Quagsire and is being completely unaware or doesn't care about this Bronzong, which is just stacking iron defenses in its face while it's just setting up hazards.
Hey, listen, he has an unaware Pokemon in the Skeleturge. He does not care. He's immune to Body Press Scorp.
Well, what if this... Okay, well, my counter-argument is, what if this thing starts going for Sword Power?
Well, no,
Okay.
it's gonna be a strong stored power, but it's not gonna be boosted by Calm Iron. And even then, he's unaware too. Yeah, he doesn't care about this weakness policy. The Skeleturge doesn't care.
Oh, and then he goes for the Hypnosis. That would have been such a fire attack, but unfortunately it misses. Spoiler alert, that move sucks ass. We're going to be able to find it to a kill with the Torch Song, as it also outspeeds us there. You know what? I love the bravery from Fournaubyl. I have definitely led off with like Shell Smash Torterra myself as well. You know, just go for broke immediately. But unfortunately, it does not quite work out as Mandibuzz comes in, takes us Torch Song to the face, and the next one will also KO it in return. So, going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But Brandon just insta-locks switch out, like insta-locks in the switch out. As Fournaubyl now getting the defog off, but it raises the evasion,
yes,
brother. So
this is one of my favorite strategies. This is my classic Malamar tech. You know, Malamar has been in the news lately, taking over Pokemon's Twitter. But I used to love switching in my Malamar to defog after I set up my hazards and getting that sweet evasion boost. It's perfectly legal, Scorp. It's legal. There's nothing you can do about it.
Well, it is. Not only is it legal, but like a bit of a fourth wall breaking. Brandon literally messaged me before this game asking whether or not this was legal. And I'm like, yes, sir, it absolutely is. So I'm actually very happy to see they pulled it off here. Absolutely love this strategy. And you know what I want to get this out right, Fournaubyl. I know you've not been having the best of the season, but I've been loving your games this season, brother. This is utter chaos.
You know, we all remember the sheer chaos of H.I.M versus Fournaubyl. Yes, you gotta hit. These are some of the best games of the season.
Absolutely, bro. Fournaubyl is just absolutely like providing us this entertainment that I appreciate it for. I appreciate you for that, man. Like, not only do you do this, but you also picked up Torterra. So do you know what? I like Fournaubyl. He's based. We're gonna see this fully offensive, supportive Rabombi now trying to get up some screens and some webs to try and minimize the damage that this Lurantis can do. But this Lurantis itself is also a ticking time bomb. And, like, no matter what you do, nothing against this thing is 100% accurate. So, like, I'd be scared. I'd be scared if I was him.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. He's got the red card. The only thing that can stop this.
Oh my God. He said nice evasion, Bruce, brother, but red card cannot miss. As we see the low kicks now come out, obviously in severe type disadvantage. But you know what, Emerald? I have actually noticed that Brandon, you know, he has been getting stopped a little bit, but not a single Pokemon on his team has taken a single point of damage. So Fournaubyl's gonna have to make some progress here.
The L1, he's got SD. He's got the Casted Berry. He's square. It's not gonna do anything.
Yep, alright, well that Shadow Sneak might as well to heal them for all I care. That Shadow Ball is going to be the Twig KO. Oh my God, this game.
Pop is out. He's had enough. He sends in popcorn, the Shadow Ball onto the Mandibuzz. That eats it up, I'll be honest, with the spin F drop.
Yep. Gets a spin F drop though.
Well, it doesn't matter. He's not aware. He's not aware of the spin F drop.
Well, I don't believe. I actually know. Yeah, you do obviously ignore the opponent's spin F drop. Yeah, so that doesn't matter. We're gonna see the Lurantis switched in now as we might see
speed boost
come out here, but this speed boost from this contrary, bro. This contrary is going crazy. Oh, nice little Resto Chesto from.
Shout out to the Chesto Resto Mandibuzz. I've never once seen that in my life.
Yeah, because it gets Roost. Why would you run Resto Chesto?
Listen, he wants to be able to heal from status Scorp.
Oh,
in case he gets poisoned.
I mean, the Quagsire, you know, if you like the Mandibuzz is like if you're up against the Quagsire, the only way it can touch you normally, or at least by conventional means, is poisoning. So
yeah.
With Resto Chesto, you know, you can bypass that and it can't touch you at all. So I'm loving these decks here. Sorry, I'm just recovering laughing at this point. As we see a Shadow Snake come out for the Mimikyu, not quite going to be enough, and knockoff will dispatch of the Mimikyu there. But this Lurantis with the speed boost now absolutely raring to go. Let's see if Brandon can get another Superpower Snowball going.
Yes, of course. Even though it is +1 speed, but of course, this thing has like 45 base speed. And of course, Fournaubyl has one of the fastest teams in the league, so we'll see. But now that the Mimikyu's gone, he's free to keep on superpowering again.
Absolutely, Superpower will come off, and yep, Fournaubyl is getting up a Desperation Reflect here, but not going to be enough, obviously, to live that Superpower, despite being extra resisted, and it gets another KO there, as Brandon's Joy-Con's low battery. Charge that shit before the game, brother.
Hey, listen, I've had that happen many times myself.
Do you guys not play with
the Pro Controller? Yeah. I don't usually keep it plugged in, so.
That's fair, yeah. As we're gonna see, we have Corn and we have Corn Pop here, the Torterra. As we're gonna see a nice big wood hammer. Gonna do some decent damage to the Lurantis though, and actually taking nothing from Superpower in return. So let's see if this Torterra can actually pull through and take on this Lurantis. And
maybe.
I also just noticed this Torterra. Is this a Scarf Torterra?
I think he's just so slow. I think the Lurantis is just so slow because it's only 45 base speed. I don't think he invested in speed.
The Torterra is base 56.
Hey, maybe he is. Maybe he is.
Scarf Torterra will be absolutely heat though, as we do see another Superpower come off. Just Fournaubyl switching around this Lurantis here. Let's see if he can get a Toxic off. I don't remember if we've seen Toxic or not yet. But Brian might also opt to not let that happen. But we do obviously have also the Terra Blast Fairy there on deck though, so it might, yep, it does. It'll be able to get a Toxic off though. Not going to miss, luckily, and it is going to be able to get that off before a Terra Blast probably knocks it out. Yes, nope, still alive.
Not with the Reflect up.
Yep, forgot about that. The Mandibus is also tanky as hell.
Indeed, and he still has, I think, 3 more turns to Reflect, yeah. But he can keep on boosting, may as well while he's here.
Absolutely, as we do also see him. I didn't even realize Superpower has 8 PP, so he's literally about to run out of that. So as soon as he's forced out, or if he has to do that, he's not going to be able to boost any further now. And they're going to be able to, or going to be forced rather to just muster through the rest of the team only with Knockoff and Terra Blast Fairy.
Yeah, it's not often you run out, because he's had the chance to set up twice with this Lurantis.
Yep, absolutely. Here's Knockoff going to be able to dispatch the Bronzong there, but poison damage is slowly racking up. Let's see if he's able to, get a comeback here and take out this Lurantis as Torterra does come back in. Let's see if it's able to kill the Lurantis from here. So we are going to see a Rock Slide come off, a critical hit and a flinch. So that is very, very unfortunate for Brandon there. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that does confirm it is indeed Scarf Torterra. As Poison's going to come off, and assuming it doesn't miss this next Rock Slide, which it doesn't, Torterra is going to be able to KO the Lurantis with another crit as well.
Salt in the wound there. Now listen, Brandon still has 5 Pokemon, but I think he really wanted to get the full sweep with Lurantis.
Absolutely, I do feel a little bit bad. Obviously, the crit and the flinch is obviously very, very rough. But let's see if this Goodra is going to be able to dispatch with the Torterra now. Fournaubyl is slowly running out of pieces, and this Goodra definitely in a good position to do some big damage. Obviously, we have 2 Pokemon weak to Ice here, so Ice Beam going to dispatch of 1, and let's see now what comes in next.
Yeah, I can't even remember who's Popcorn. Oh, Lapras. They had Lapras in the back. I mean, this thing could potentially, we see a substitute. Set up Lapras. I think that this thing can Terra as well, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And the funny thing is, this Goodra now going for a Draco Meteor, which obviously lowers its special attack. So if this is some kind of Dragon Dance set potential, that could actually be really scary for Brandon. I know I've been on the receiving end of nearly getting swept by Lapras, so let's see if this thing actually can get something going here. Although, unfortunately, we do have, it is weak to Water, but we do have an unaware Skeletor still in the back.
Yes, indeed. So, well, we've seen Substitute, Dragon Dance. I'm assuming Ice Move. We'll see if they pack in a Water Move or not.
Yep, indeed. Probably just those 2 moves and Dual Stab. We do also, of course, have the Quagsire as well, but that thing, as we know, it does not have any attack. So, and as we know, it also has Substitute, so it can get its way around the Toxic. So this Dragon Dance Lapras definitely in a good position to do some damage here. Kamala going off with the Rapid Spin, not quite gonna get rid of any damaging hazards, but Sticky Web will go off. But that just buys Fournaubyl more time to set up, so we'll see if he's actually able to do something with this.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see. I mean, I think, yeah, he has the knockoff to at least try to get rid of the lefties if he can live. And he is.
Oh, but the Icicle Spear not quite able to get the kill, unfortunately. As we see, it is not loaded dice. I mean, we obviously knew that because it was leftovers, but going to be able to remove that item now, on Brandon's side, thanks to the ability to live that Icicle Spear at least once. And you got to wonder, as we see, we do have First Impression on deck on low kicks, so it might be able to just finish it off right here and now.
Could be, or he could try to go Danny DeVito and try to get the kill with that. We'll see. He also does have, I mean, Alluring Voice will go through substitutes. That's something else to consider.
Absolutely. Here we do see Brandon carefully weighing his options here, as we do indeed decide to go into the Skeletor here, and should not be able to outspeed this Lapras. But I wonder if it will. I guess we'll figure out right now if it's backing a water move, as we are going to see the Terra pop now. I forgot what this thing's Terra types are, but it's going to be Terra Fire as well. So no Will-O-Wisp for Brandon here.
Doesn't appear to have a water move, Scorp.
Yep, so that is a little bit unfortunate. Might be expecting to see some other Pokemon on Brandon's team, and because of that Unaware, it's completely immune to all the Dragon Dance boosts, so it's not going to be able to force its way past the Skeletor, and I think that might be game. I'm going to make a desperate switch into the Torterra here. If it lifts the Shadow Ball, which it does, might be able to get another KO here. We'll see right now for sure if this thing is Scarf, because Skeletor is definitely faster than Torterra, unless there's some weird thing going on with the speed. If he does get the Rock Slide, do we get a flinch? No, we do not get a flinch, and Torterra goes down. I feel like if Fournaubyl wanted to, like, I mean, if he wanted the game, like, if he wanted to win the game, then Rock Slide was the right play, but I feel like if you wanted to serve differential there, or save differential, sorry, which I think should be the play there, I feel like you should just go for the ground move.
Yeah, I agree. Try to at least take this thing out. And then I think Brandon just brings something else in the next turn, but at least you have another differential point.
Yep. Lapras going to come in with the Terrifier, not going to be able to survive a Shadow Ball because of it though, and that is game. So GG's to both sides. Slow down a little bit towards the end, but brother, that was a crazy game. I'm losing my mind over here.
That was indeed crazy. All right, people. So, Captain B-Nard versus Danger Dave. This is an important game for playoffs. B-Nard really needs a dub here to be able to stay ahead. What are you thinking, your score?
Well, I'm liking a bit of interesting dynamics here. We do obviously see the Politoed now back in action, so the Danger Dave going to fully lean again once more into the Rain mode here, as the but B-Nard definitely has a few of the counterplays to that Rain mode. We do obviously see the Life Orb Jolteon, which I really like, and we also have plenty of water resists with the Gastrodon and the Trevenant. I actually think Trevenant Trevenant looks really strong in this game. So I think if I had to, I mean, I know we don't normally do this, but if I had to give it to someone from Team Preview, I think the B-Nard is definitely well prepped for this game.
Yes, indeed. We'll see what's going to happen here. Because like you said, the biggest strength of Danger Dave's team is that Rain Core, and I mean, he's got mons that can stop him.
Absolutely. Here, going to see the Galarian Weezing with neutralizing gas lead here off against the Barraskewda. Now, Barraskewda obviously quite strong and does obviously also pack Psychic Fangs, which might potentially do a lot of damage to this thing, but I don't think it's ever going to be able to one-shot this thing. So Danger Dave going to have to be careful about a potential Will-O-Wisp, or as we can see on the screen right now, a Thunderbolt, which, Barraskewda is absolutely made of paper defensively, so that could very well just one-hit KO, as we do indeed see a switch immediately.
Switches out into Joy Fontaine, leans forward and does over half with a crit, and because that neutralizing gas is not going to be able to activate the Rain.
Yep, indeed. So Danger Dave might have forgot a little bit about the mechanics of the neutralizing gas there, as it puts B-Nard into a very strong position immediately with that catching the Politoed with a Thunderbolt, and now threatening another one or a big strange steam. Obviously, we know Danger Dave's team to compromise for the Rain Core doesn't have the best of type balance on his team, so not going to be able to find a lot of resistance to these attacks. And as we know, like, he does have the Registeel obviously, but we all know Galarian Weezing gets fire coverage, so that could potentially be dangerous as well.
Yeah, going back, like I think I've said before, but a lot of these Gen 1 Pokemon, they just get so much coverage. Like, it's crazy, like, the moves that they get that a lot of modern-day Pokemon don't have that type of coverage, just because they gave everything back in the day Thunderbolt and Flamethrower almost.
I think you definitely did mention that before, indeed, as we're going to see the grass type on grass type action now as Trevenant is going to come in. Trevenant actually does have a very high attack set, so this Toedscruel obviously, just like Tentacruel, also very weak on its defense side. Definitely going to be able to threaten a KO of this thing, as we see the Trick Room with Room Service come out from the Toedscruel. I'm willing to bet not even half the people watching this video knew what that item was called, but it is indeed called Room Service, which gives you a -1 -1 speed after setting up a Trick Room, which means it is going to be able to outspeed this Trevenant and get an Acid Spray off, but unfortunately going to get walloped by Woodhammer and get taken out.
Yeah, Acid Spray not going to do much. I mean, you did drop the Spadef, but, I mean, Registeel can't even really make use of that, so I'm not sure what Danger Dave was anticipating there if he didn't think that a Woodhammer was going to do as much, but I mean, Trevenant's strong, especially with a 120 base power move.
Absolutely is. We're going to see Danger Dave now either realize his mistake or try to pull a spicy double, as we do see the Gaston now being switched into the Bombardier. So we'll see how this matchup plays out. But yeah, definitely, I feel like the Trick Room could have been abused better there in that position.
For sure. But Captain B-Nard, man after my own heart, sees the position that Danger Dave is in. Now that he's lost his spinner, he has the ability to just start stacking up hazards.
Absolutely. Although I believe Bombardier does get a bullet seed, so he bravely stays in and goes for a spikes, but not quite going to see that as he does indeed go for a parting shot. Bullet seed could have potentially taken him out, because that even, like, apart from the first hit, it basically just goes through the window barrier that he has on deck right here. But yeah, spike's going to go up and going to be able to find its way out of here with the parting shot. But Drizzle now will actually go up, so we'll see if Danger Dave can pull it back with the rain up.
We'll see. I know he should have enough health. I mean, he's at full health. I don't think that this thing can knock it out in too many hits. Could potentially get up some rocks and get double hazard action. Or maybe he wants to try to just take this thing out. I mean, he is at -1, so we'll see.
Do give me a moment, because I do know Politoed gets a little bit of random coverage every now and then, but I want to just quickly double check if it does actually get a grass move. Let's see.
Opts to go for the Psychic here. Does a decent chunk. I mean, I think that's like 45-40% roughly.
Yep. Politoed, I just double check, does not get grass coverage, so obviously B-Nard, knowing that as well, has no real reason to fear this Politoed too much, apart from just, not wanting to get too low and too chipped. Because otherwise a Bandit Bear Scooter might potentially go crazy. But now, considering his options and trying to maybe find a way to take this Politoed out, or at least threaten a bit more damage than what this Gaston is capable of doing, I'm going to switch into the Assault Vest Berserker, which I think can also take hits on very, very well, and catches it with the Psychic, which is not going to do anything at all.
I can't remember. I feel like Berserker is fairly slow, but it's going to come down to it. Who actually wins this exchange in terms of speed? Yeah, base 50? Oof. This Politoed might outspeed it.
Very, very much so, but obviously Danger Dave, I don't think really wants to give up his Politoed just yet. We do obviously have spikes on his side being set up, but it definitely can live at least one more, and yet we did see the withdrawal. So the Bombardier, which is Terra Fairy, actually comes back in. So if that thing would have just gone in on an Iron Head, it would have just gone popped, but luckily for him, we do not see Iron Head on deck this week for B-Nard. But we are going to see a U-turn though, so this could potentially give a nice opportunity for either Hawlucha or the Jolteon to get back in. And I really, really like the Life Orb Jolteon bringing this game. Also with Weather Ball being able to turn the weather against him.
Oh, true enough. Now they've got effectively like 150 base power water type move that they could use at their disposal if they wanted to.
Well, it's not going to quite want to be 150, but obviously it's going to be like 100.
Well,
I mean, I guess 150 is boosted
multiplied by the rain.
Yeah, no, true. I guess that's if you look at it that way, it absolutely is 150 base power, which is very strong. We're just still going to be forced to take that hit though, because again, the Toad Scroll, I believe, got taken out already, right? So this Jolteon, every single time it comes in, has a free Volt Switch.
Yes, indeed. And now potentially the Gastrodon could come in and threaten it with an Earth Power, and maybe get up some Stealth Rocks, perhaps, in addition.
Yeah, obviously B-Nard kind of weighing his options here. He does have quite a lot of ways, but we are going to see the Berserker come out, which obviously kind of walls his Registeel, and it also has the Tough Claws boosted close combat to threaten this thing. So if Danger Dave does fear that, it might be forced to switch out immediately, but actually opts to go for a fake out. And honestly, I feel like I would have just clicked close combat there, but obviously fake out. I mean, you're in, right? So you might as well.
Yeah, I may as well try and scout for something. I mean, presumably if they try to switch out and see what they go out into, I guess.
Yep. Still not a terrible position from B-Nard though, because every single time you do force a switch, you're going to be forcing them to take spikes damage, and I believe, I wouldn't be surprised if that Tough Claws actually made the difference between that fake out killing or not. Not sure if the what's it called, Danger Dave was expecting that, but now gonna have the last 8 turns of rain before it is gone, so they're gonna have to make the most out of this presumably dry skin Toxicroak as well as the Barraskewda.
Yes, indeed. And not only that, because they went for fake out last turn and not CC, they also don't have any drops, but they might be fearing I mean, Toxicroak, I'm pretty sure, is way faster than this thing. Just CC to just demolish this thing. So they got to get out of there.
Absolutely, as we're going to see the Toxicroak in a position to fire off an attack. He does come in with the Galarian Wheezing, as we actually see a nasty plot come out from Danger Dave. We do obviously know the Toxicroak is a mixed attacker, can very easily attack from both sides of the spectrum, and I absolutely love this moveset, finding the opportunity to set that up, and not the first time B-Nard's been caught off guard by an opponent getting a setup sweeper in position, so we'll see if this is the start of a comeback here for Danger Dave.
Perhaps so. I mean, don't underestimate Toxicroak's offensive abilities here, as we also got his dry skin healed up as it just one-shots the Galarian Weezing with the Life Orb Sludge Bomb.
I am very impressed at that one-shot, because the Galarian Weezing is a bulky boy, and judging from the numbers, I'm pretty sure B-Nard has at least max HP on that thing, so great set here from Danger Dave here. And basically, this thing is going to require a quick response from B-Nard there. Luckily, we do have the Scarf Hawlucha on deck, which can come in, does not threaten, or sorry, does not fear Vacuum Wave, obviously, but still, getting the one-shot on the Galarian Weezing is huge.
Absolutely. We'll see if they... I mean, I don't know how many sacks do they have to this thing. They do have a Registeel, and I don't think that they know that it's Scarf yet. We'll see.
Yep, he's going to go into the Brave Bird there. Great play, obviously acknowledging that B-Nard has pretty much forced the Brave Bird, and also going to find its way to get its Citrus Berry, like perfectly restored to proc the Citrus Berry, rises, switches into the spikes, and that is going to luckily force the Hawlucha out. But I feel like, honestly, this might be still a bit of a losing game, as we do see another spicy double come out from Danger Dave, expecting the Trevenant to come out and going into the Bombardier, which now threatens a big, powerful flying move, or a dark move, actually. This thing is weak to both of your stabs.
Yeah, Danger Dave is certainly trying to keep up the momentum here, not willing to let B-Nard get the best of him here. Does have that dark type coverage for this thing. We'll see what can happen here.
Indeed, we do obviously also see the Sunny Day tag that we have on B-Nard's side. I believe the rain is not... okay, the rain is already gone, as we do see a knockoff come out. That was definitely a tough position, I think, for B-Nard, though, because you don't really want anything else on your team to get knocked off. As we can see, the rest of these items are all quite valuable, so he instead just decides to let the Trevenant go down. But definitely maybe a little bit tougher now that one of your water resist is gone. But as I alluded to earlier, again, this Jolteon will be able to find a free opportunity to go for a Volt Switch now because of that.
Yeah, so it is tough because some of B-Nard's Pokemon are relatively slow, like that Trevenant there. But he always has the Hawlucha and the Jolteon just come in and then revenge kill or get big damage off either way.
Absolutely, here. The Volt Switch, he does actually stay in, going to get quite a lot of chip off. But now obviously going to have to switch into another attack from this Bombardier, so this is a bit of a difficult situation to decide what you potentially want the item to be removed on. So we are going to see Gastrodon switch in. I don't believe there's any hazards up on that side. Nope. As we do indeed see a parting shot come out. So going to be able to find some more momentum. And this might be the opportunity for Barraskewda, if it is choice band anyway, to break through this.
Barraskewda does indeed come in. We'll see if it's... I mean, I don't know. It's going to be close. Maybe if a banded close combat might be able to kill.
Yep. That's what I was thinking. Obviously, it does not have grass coverage, but Barraskewda does have a sky-high attack stat, and Gastron as well. A bit softer on the physical side than it is on the special side. And I don't believe this Barraskewda is in range of an Earth Power either, so I guess we'll see how this plays out. B-Nard is going to go for the Earth Power, though, as Danger Dave going to go for a Psychic Fangs, and with the critical hit, that is enough to knock the Gastrodon out, which means that the other Water Resist is also gone now. So this Barraskewda could actually really be scary in the endgame, because effectively, it does outspeed Jolteon, so effectively the only thing keeping it at bay is the Scarf Hawlucha.
That's tough for B-Nard. I mean, I don't know. I should have seen Danger Dave's video and seen what item they were, but I don't think that could have killed without the crit. I'm gonna be honest there.
No, absolutely not. I don't think so either, because Gastrodon is still quite a bulky boy. Now we're going to see the Terra Ghost come out on this Berserker here, and obviously if it is, if it is back in close combat, then there's no choice, then you're going to be able to absorb that, and you're also definitely out of a range of liquidation at this point, or at least non-choice liquidation. And yep, it does indeed force the switch out there, as Register is going to come back in. But this will allow B-Nard to get the Terra off at least, so that might potentially again help it against some close combat later on in the game.
Perhaps so. It makes me wonder why they didn't opt to go for it versus the Toxicroak before, unless they didn't think it would kill and might get sucker punched after.
Yep. Oh, but this Hawlucha, though, definitely in a very, very scary endgame. As we can see, close combat, no switch-ins, does actually KO the VHDL from there very, very easily. I don't think that crit mattered at all. And we could potentially be looking at a Scarf Hawlucha endgame here, because I don't believe there's any CC switch-ins left. And unless he is running the crazy Scarf Barraskewda, I think this might be game.
It is interesting to see because, you know, usually we would always expect Hawlucha to have that, one of the seeds and then be an unburdened super, but B-Nard has really tried to make use of any other set except for that, only rarely running the seed when he can, because he wants to try to get more out of his Weezing.
Absolutely. We've seen the seed only come in once this season. Well, I don't want to say it failed spectacularly because it did get a kill, I think, but it didn't do too well. And the Scarf actually really, really strong here. Obviously, B-Nard acknowledges that this, what's it called? That this Bombardier is not quite in range of another close combat, but he has definitely figured out that there is a Brave Bird endgame here to be had now that there's no flying resist left with the Registeel gone. So as long as he can just find his way back in with that Hawlucha, he should be good to go, because I mean, this Dark Sticker, again, Vacuum Mode doesn't threaten it. I feel like this is perfectly set up for B-Nard with this Hawlucha.
Could be, yeah, and you know, he's made quite a bit of use out of Fake Out on this Berserker as well, much more than you normally would in singles. We'll see. Goes for the Dark Pulse, is indeed going to be able to take out that Berserker. So, I mean, it's still a close game.
Absolutely, here as definitely Danger Dave does have a few more pieces ready than I was like paying attention for. But now, you know, after getting that kill on the Dark Pulse, we're gonna get a clean switch into Hawlucha, and this Brave Bird spam.
Bird.
Yeah, this is tough, man. Flying is such a scary offensive typing. Now that your Registeel's gone, I think this could be game.
Yep, goes back to the old Gen 6 days with bird spam. You know, once you get rid of that steel type, I mean, there's just not much that can come in and take this.
Pokemon Brave Bird Edition, you love to see it.
Gonna try to go for the desperate vacuum wave there, but he's not really gonna be able to do much. Just trying to whittle this thing down as much as they can, but even then they still have the Jolteon in the back. So remember what we were saying, like the two of B-Nard's best pieces, this Hawlucha and this Jolteon, as long as you have those, then you always have a good chance.
Absolutely, with those massive speed stats, obviously, there's very, very little hope here for Danger Dave at this point. He could actually have Sucker Punch on the Bombardier here, but even if he does, obviously Hawlucha does resist that, so there's not much point in trying to take that here. The only real hope is just trying to hope and pray that you can live a Brave Bird, but it's below half at this point. Even though it wasn't taking spites because of the heavy-duty boots, yep, Brave Bird will come off and Bombardier goes down. So beautifully set up endgame here from the Hawlucha.
Yes, indeed. As now the last Mon being the Barraskewda, you have to. I don't know if the Choice Band Aqua Jet is going to do enough.
Nah, I don't think so.
Or
no,
unless they're Scarf.
Yep, no, they're not Scarf. They do go for the Aqua Jet, though. That does look like it's Choice Band. And yeah, if you still had the rain up, that would have actually been, seriously tough. And the recoil is actually enough to take the Hawlucha out. So in the end, it's only a 1-0 game, which, yeah, honestly, this is a beautiful game. GG's once again to both sides.
GG's indeed. All right, we are here with Aprater versus Lazyboi. Another very important game here. What are we thinking here, Score? We've got the newly added Sawsbuck and Squawkabilly.
Yep, just wanted to know that, yeah, those two did. After Reggie Drago's spectacular failure last week of once again flooding into a fairy type. He has now binned it off for these two Pokemon here. So very, very interesting to see how they do. And Lazyboi seems to be bringing his A game, because we see all of Gallade, Crocodile, and Volcanion, three of his scariest Mons. So we'll see how this plays out. I'm always looking forward to seeing Adam's games, because these games, like, he either wins fast or he loses fast. There's no really in between.
Yeah, Aprater, I think he has 3 normal types. The Sawsbuck,
yep, he does.
Squawkabilly, and the Grafai is crazy. But we got a lead Talonflame versus the Grafai. Be interested to see what's going to happen here.
I wonder if against this hyper-offensive team, maybe Lazyboi can fill me in on that. If he actually considered maybe like an offensive Gale Wings Talonflame, because against hyper-offense, that's actually a really, really powerful option. But he does go for the dual Wing Beat here, potentially trying to go for a targeted snatch, but it will trigger this Cerulech's weak armor not once but twice, giving up -2 defense and +4 speed. So very curious to see if Adam is going to be able to pull something up with this. But of course, it is now in range of another flying move. So unless it can KO this Talonflame, not going to be able to continue a sweep here.
I mean, the fact that he was dual Wing Beat and Boots, I mean, that tells me it might have actually been Gale Wings. It's a Scarlet with Poltergeist. Talonflame is not that strong.
Holy crap, that's not even freaking Choice Band either. I'm willing to bet that Lazyboi might have been protecting that was Choice Band, but nope, it's clear Amulet actually. I mean, I know Scarlet is strong. It's one of probably my favorite new Pokemon for Generation 9 altogether, but like, that's crazy to me. That's genuinely crazy to me. But we're gonna see Lazyboi now attempt a double, and unfortunately, well, he didn't luckily click Poltergeist again, but we kind of have seen what happens when you try to pull doubles on Adam. He just stays in like an absolute unit, and this Meowstic is now gonna find its way on the field instead. Last week, this is a Terra captain, I'm pretty sure, but we're going to see the Terra fighting as Adam's going to go for a Bitter Blade, but not before he gets a Reflect up first with the Prankster. Very nice tech.
That still did a decent chunk to this Meowstic. Now he's going to try to set up even more.
See, even if you Thunder Wave this, and it misses, that's so unfortunate. Well, again, the thing is, even if you paralyze the Terra Ledge, I mean, the only thing that can realistically save you is the chance to get powered at this point, because the Terra Ledge is a +4 speed. So even if it is paralyzed, it's going to be able to outspeed your whole team anyway. So this is a very scary position to be in for Lazyboi.
Yeah, so ×3 divided by 2, so effectively like a Choice Scarf 1.5 times speed. Thankfully, you know, back in the old days of Gen 6, it would have been neutralized because it would have been a quarter of its speed from Para.
Yep, as we do now see the Volcano come out. I gotta wonder if this thing is maybe itemless and Lazy wants to bait this thing. It's clicking Poltergeist, but nope, it is Citrus Berry. Gonna go for the Swords now. That's a very, very bulky Volcano because the Scarlet is +2, correct?
Ooh, yes. As now,
the steam eruption. Hold on, how accurate does this move? Hold on.
I think it's 90 or something, but I think was Reflect still up? Up goes for
I
forgot
knew it, bro.
that the
Steam eruption is 95.
95. Wow.
95%. Yeah, very unfortunate for Lazyboi there.
Very unfortunate.
Luckily, gonna be able to find.
I don't know if Aprater felt bad or if he just forgot that there was a Citrus Berry there and then it got eaten. But either way, the next Steam Eruption does land.
Yep, next Steam Eruption does land and it does take it out, which means now going to be able to find a free position into this with a Hisuian Braviary though. But yeah, that was definitely that Terra Ledge caused some carnage.
Yeah, punch some holes. I mean, 2 Mons down. Let's see how much this. Oh, it actually lives. Wow.
Big Psychic there coming off, but I think this Volcano might be a little bit bulky. It does get the burn though with Steam Eruption, so this Hisuian Braviary definitely going to be on timer. But I do love this Hisuian Braviary's position now, is because it does obviously outspeed the Volcanion. Now, Adam going to go for the read on the Crocodile potentially coming in and going for a Hurricane just to cover that switch. Doesn't happen though, but he is able to luckily land the Hurricane, so not going to be punished for it.
Still managed to land. That's crazy. I mean, Aprater's, luck is, he hasn't really had anything bad happen to him.
Yep, nope, not at all. As we see the Crocodile now come in. Gonna wonder if this is Scarf or not. I mean, I think Crocodile outspeeds it anyway. Yep, and it does go for a knockoff, knocking off the life up, and Hisuian Braviary goes down. But this is your potential to set up with something else. I think Squawkabilly or the Saucebug could actually be in a really cool position here. Actually goes into the Grafai, though, interestingly enough. That's not what I would have gone out into, but I'm sure Adam's got a plan.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's Scarf. He's going to U-turn. Might try to chip this thing down a bit for something else. If he assumes they're going for Earthquake, they do have that air balloon Lucario that they could bring in.
Yep, so if you can bait him into go for an Earthquake, that potentially would be helpful. I believe Grafai does also get Poison Touch. So if you can U-turn out, get some super effective damage and poison this thing, that could be huge. But Lazyboi does also have an Orthworm he could switch into any time. Doesn't decide to go for it here, but if he does want to deal with this Grafai later, that could be an option. As we do see Crocodile stay in and goes for Stealth Rock, actually.
That's some pretty big damage there, I won't even lie. As Shadow Ball is running the special Lucario here. Aura Sphere should be able to take it out from that range pretty easily.
As we do see the Flash Cannon come off here. And not quite going to be able to find its mark on that Pokemon. It's going to switch out into the Glade instead, which does have pretty good natural special defense. And yep, it does not get 2-hit KO'd. But we do have Shadow Ball on deck, as Glade actually does outspeed, unfortunately. Maybe Adam made that decision a little bit too hastily there. And Glade does actually take out the Lucario with a sharpness boosted Sacred Sword.
Yeah, I might have anticipated him to be able to outspeed him there, but I feel like Lazyboi has run Scarf Glade quite frequently this season.
Yep, could also be Scarf. I mean, I'm pretty sure. You know, I'm just gonna check the speed tiers right now. But I'm pretty sure Glade is faster.
Nah, Lucario is 90 versus 80. That's
exactly.
oh,
Lucario's
only
faster than
because
Gladion.
I've run Lucario so much, and I know Gallade has the same base speed as Gardevoir. That's the only reason I know that off the top of my head.
Very nice, good sir. Very nice. Yeah, I just double check you are indeed correct. As we're gonna see the Gravaya against the Crocodile here, and again, this Crocodile is being a little bit scared of clicking Earthquake for some reason, but will knock off the Scarf. And I wonder what that
Ooh,
copycat.
copycat! Shout out to PokeMMD.
Yep, and D is gonna be able to pull that off, and they're gonna go for the knockoff here and get a KO on the Crocodile.
Yeah, so it was
That's
Expert
the-
Belt Crook. Interesting. Oh, he's gonna try to knock this thing off too.
It does actually work though, which is really cool, as we are going to see the leftovers knock off from the Earthworm there. Obviously, he does take out the Gravaya in return with Earthquake, but still, knocking off those leftovers could be huge, although I just realized that Adam has kind of run out of options to really hit this Earthworm super effectively, so I'm wondering how he's actually going to be able to break through with this. Like, if this Earthworm was once again Iron Defense, that could be really rough.
He does have the double kick. Don't forget the double kick, Scorpion.
Bro, what base power is the move again? Like 40?
He should SD up.
Yeah, nice super effective damage.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
I'm believing
If
a bit
he
lazy boy
started
shaking his boots right
SDing,
now.
he could, in theory, it might be too late now. Oh, he's gonna go for the body slam paralysis. Didn't get it.
Well, if you got like, I appreciate the optimism. You know, if you got like 10 para full para, I think you would've done it.
He's gotta try. It's just out. We'll see what this Squawkabilly
Yeah.
can do here. I don't think it's gonna do much.
I'm gonna be honest, brother. I think this Terra Blast Electric is just about to heal this Orform up. I don't know about you.
Let's see how
You know,
much
I
it
kind of
does.
love the way that Lazyboi's kind of been checkmating people with this Orthorb, using it like a mini Zamazenta. But yeah, Rock Slide gonna come off. Not quite gonna be super effective, of course, obviously, because it does Terra Slash into Electric now. But yeah, this Terra Blast might as well just be healing it, you know, giving it a nice little belly rub at that point. As Orphan's gonna go for an Earthquake, now that it's not a flying type anymore, and that is game. Nice little quick one, but yeah, this is Earthworm again, just being like a freaking mini Zamazenta, just walling all the physical attackers late game.
Listen, I've seen Earthworm put in more work in draft games than I've ever seen it put in work with in the lower tiers. And again, I don't really watch the lower tiers anyways, but I've always seen Earthworm be able to pull stuff like this off.
Yep, it's just you know, you had to be around for those times when Earthworm was everywhere and OU when it could still use Shed Tail.
All right. Well, yeah, if you had Shed Tail, yeah. All right, people. So we're here with H.I.M versus Arcanine. This is a crucial game. Another one of those games we got to look out for playoffs, because Arcanine desperately needs this win. And H.I.M, if he wants any chance of making it to playoffs, he needs to get this dub as well. So, what are we thinking here, Scorp?
Well, first of all, I love this Magnazone's nickname, because I'm pretty sure that, like, he obviously tried to make something cool for it, but fun fact, the way he spelled it, that's actually like a translation for microwave in Dutch, so that's very funny to me.
Wow.
This Magnazone is just called microwave. But sorry, to get into the actual insights of this game here, I feel like kind of mostly the usual things from this from both sides here. We do obviously see both the Haunter and the Alolan Persian in from HIM, and we also see most of the standard stuff from Arcanine. Once again, seeing Noivern, Virizion, all those back in action, as well as the Terrazip Striker. But
Yep, he's got
Gonna
the
lead.
Scarf Haunter.
yep, gonna lead the Entei into the what's it called, into the Ambipom here, and it's actually not the best position for HIM immediately, because Entei, as we know, has inner focus, so you can't fake it out, and you can just drop to a Sacred Fire. So gonna switch into the Alolan Persian instead with that defensive set, and now throwing a nice Thunder Wave.
Yes, indeed. Goes with the T-Wave onto the Vaporeon to try to prevent it from doing quite as much. It also has Taunt, maybe for potential Wish stuff, but they're just going to Parting Shot out, get something else in.
Great play to get the Thunder Wave off, though, because this Vaporeon probably going to be around for a while, so any free turns you can get against that thing from full powers is going to be huge. We're now going to see the Microwave come out into the into the Vaporeon. So I'm just going to refer to it as a Microwave for the rest of the game, as it is going to be able to get full paralyzed, so not going to be able to go for a flip turn here, as it is basically locked in. It's now kind of getting a bit of an over prediction here, unfortunately, as the Vaporeon stays in on the Flash Cannon. But it is get full paralyzed, so no switch in from the Vaporeon once again. And now gonna be able to get a discharge here, as Arcanine seem to be really sort of fixated on getting that slow switch.
Yeah, trying to predict the Dawn fan there with that flash cannon, but he did at least manage to weaken that Vaporeon significantly. But now the Entei is back.
Yep. If this Entei is choice banned, I could 100% at least like understand why Arcanine made the play he did, because getting this thing into attacking position could be really, really powerful. And as we can see, that Sacred Fire does so much damage
That's
and
gotta
get a
be
burn.
banded.
So absolutely, yeah. So that's going to be a very, very powerful position to put the Entei in. And honestly, again, I dig that play. You know, and Entei, your powerful 18-pointer, get that thing into position as much as you can, and click a button.
Absolutely. Does manage to be able to get some momentum here once again. I wonder if he can manage to kill this thing without leaving him in a position where Entei just comes back in again, though.
Yep, because we obviously, you know, he does have the microwave available. He could potentially go for a discharge, but no Volt Switch on deck this week. So even if he does manage to score a KO, you can't really pivot back into anything else. We're actually going to see Nightmare the Haunter come off. And controversial opinion, I actually like Haunter more than Gengar. I don't know what your thoughts are on there, but I really like this thing's design. The fact that it actually looks like a ghost rather than just like a silly little thing standing on 2 feet.
I don't know, I've always loved Gengar, you know, but the pros of this thing, it still manages to hang on to Levitate. I guess they're like, you know what, Gengar's too busted. It's been OU every single generation. We need to give this thing Cursed Body instead, and then immediately just drops off.
Yep. Although Power Creep is very, very real. Now, I love me Gengar as well. Don't get me wrong. Gengar is absolutely one of my favorite Ghost type Pokemon. I think the main reason why I just prefer Haunter is because one, it's actually left-handing off the ground, and two, instead of those stubby little hands, it has those claws, which I think looks a lot more menacing. So I really like that.
Yes, indeed. We do have the AV microwave, sorry, to be able to come in on this Noivern and should be able to eat up. Oh, but it goes to a flamethrower predicting, and that just does massive damage. Its AV is the only thing keeping it alive.
Brother, absolutely. I think absolutely one of my favorite things this season in general is how aggressive Arcanine has been with this Specs Noivern. He's been running Specs on it almost every single week, and he's like, this is like the second or third time against different coaches that we've seen him catch the Steel types with a Specs Fire move. So I really, really love that, and that could potentially open it up to spam either its stabs or Boom Burst later on in the game.
Yep. Interesting is he actually tries to predict H.I.M to switch, or maybe he's just predicting him to stay and sack it off, and he gets the Lightning Rod boost on the Zebstrika, so he's running Lightning Rod over Motor Drive.
Absolutely, here as we're actually going to see a final desperation explosion from this microwave here, as we're going to see the Zebstrika potentially, you know, we're going to wonder if it's going to go for a greedy setup move or it's going to take it out. Nope, it is just going to go for an overheat, and it does connect. Honestly,
I was going to make a joke about the microwave overheating and exploding. The Zebstrika overheated it.
Well, honestly, I would have paid good money to see that miss and see how much the damage would have done. But yeah, luckily for Arcanine, I'm not going to be able to miss. And it's only going to be a -1 special attack now because of the Lightning Rod boost earlier. So I'm going to be interested to see if that actually tempts him to stay in against anything that H.I.M brings in now.
Yeah, so I wonder if the events from the previous week where he was getting walled by the Hippowdon because of it was a physical set, maybe now he's like, you know what, let me run special for the Sand Slash and just the team in general.
Absolutely. It does obviously have Terra Ice as one of its Terra types here, so that's why H.I.M is not wanting to really risk the Sand Slash willy-nilly, as they're going to find its way into the Donphan now. Let's see how much this Triple Axle does, honestly. I'm curious about this, because I know Jesse... exactly, and I know actually Arcanine loves to run attack investment on his Hippowdon, which could potentially... not Hippowdon, sorry, Donphan. And yep, as we can see there, it is enough to take it out. And Ambipom just removes Donphan from the game right off the get-go.
Absolutely. Very rarely that you see a physical attacker be the one to take out the Donphan, but you know, what is it after all the boot? It's like 180 power or something like that.
It is very, very powerful. I actually think very highly of Ambipom. I'm always very scared of this mon. I know Kingbura nearly beat me with it in Season 5. And that was an Ubers League, so you can know, and that was an Ubers League in which I had great tasks. You can imagine how good it is against the Donphan. But now going to be going into the Entei here with Sacred Fire potentially. But actually goes for Stomping Detriment instead. Why is he going for Stomping Detriment instead of Sacred Fire? That's why I want to know. Is there a fire ability here?
Well, he probably doesn't want to miss. I don't know why. But he doesn't really have too many more switch-ins. I'm trying to think if he has. Oh, because of the Tauros Blaze.
He's trying to catch the Tauros on switch. Okay, that makes actually a lot of sense. I think that's actually a pretty critical play. But yeah, definitely going to be able to do some big damage if you catch that, but H.I.M having none of it. And
Yeah.
just now while we're talking, he manages to knock off the choice specs on Noivern, which I think was a really solid win con in this game. So that's a big move for H.I.M.
Yes, so although now that does mean that Noivern could switch up its moves, so we'll see what once he goes for the Dragon Pulse there. Does manage to take out the, what's it called? The Alolan Persian with a crit.
Yep. We do still have the Scarf Haunter on deck though, so I don't know if this Noivern is actually going to be capable of one-shotting this Haunter with Dragon Pulse, unless it also has Draco Meteor. But I really like the position of this Haunter, because Sludge Bomb and Shadow Ball looks like it kind of goes in on his team. But it's going to go into the Ambipom now. Fake Out going to threaten some really, really big damage on Arcanetter's team. And I wonder how much it's going to do to this Noivern, because we know, I think I've commented on it before, just for some reason Fake Out from Ambipom just feels like, I don't know why, it's just so strong.
Yeah, I mean, the Technician, look at how much damage it does. I mean, Ambipom has been one of H.I.M's probably one of his top Pokemon this season. It's just gotten a lot of use out of this thing.
Absolutely, and say now back in position though, it will obviously still get outsped by this Ambipom, but we're gonna see if H.I.M wants to risk anything or risk the Ambipom going down, and as indeed he does not, as the Sandslash will switch out into a Sacred Fire. It does get burned and it gets into a KO range, so yeah, very, very strong position once again, and Arcanetter not trying to overpredict this time, going for the safe Sacred Fire, and it will pay off.
Yeah, Bolin, shout out to Legend of Korra, trying to absorb that Sacred Fire, scouting for the Stomping Tantrums, that way they can get Tauros Blaze in safely.
Yep, I do believe we did see the Tauros Blaze packing Intimidate, so it is quite a solid switch into this Entei, and they're going to make that switch now, so we'll see if Arcaniner wants to pull a scary double and actually go into a potential Noivern. Yep, he doesn't indeed switch out. Does he go Noivern? No, he goes Virizion. All right, so we got a still unfortunately a bit of a type disadvantage, but be interested to see if it actually has some kind of be interested to see if it actually has some kind of anti-Tauros tech though.
Yeah, the only problem though, this Tauros cannot hit the Noivern.
Yep, that is indeed very, very tough. Obviously, this Dragonfly, although obviously does not have boots, and I believe it has taken some chip, so it might be able to chip it down enough to the point where it can't switch anymore. Arcanine are actually recognizing that though, and does switch in on the Trailblaze, which is absolutely nothing. And yeah, no Stone Edge on deck, so unless Arcanine fears the Stone Edge and wants to switch out on it, this Noivern could potentially just stay in and just fire off a big Hurricane or Air Slash.
Yes, indeed, and they're free to switch up moves now. And I think that H.I.M realizing the position he's in, he's like, I gotta get out of here. So might have to sack off Bolin and then be able to get back in your Ambipom.
Yep, so we see H.I.M nearly running out of time, but we are indeed going to flee out, obviously not being able to touch this thing and going for a switch, as indeed Air Slash comes off. So I love Arcanetter's call, either you got a rock move, either you don't got a rock move or you're gonna miss. And if you do, I'm just gonna take you out. So I love the bold little plays here as we see H.I.M being knocked down to 3 here. But it does give him another opportunity to fake up with Ambipom. So yeah, just a very back and forth game at this point in time.
Yeah, and I think that H.I.M now that he's done it so many times, he's conditioned Arcaniner to fear the fake out. So now he can get the U-turn on the switch and get better Pokemon in for this Entei.
Here, as you said, we are going to see the U-turn come out, and this actually allows him to either go back into the Tauros, which gives him another setup opportunity potentially, or go into the Haunter to try and take it out. This thing is a Terra Captain, so a Terra Ghost Shadow Ball might potentially hurt. I'm really excited to see if he's actually going to be able to pull off an endgame with that.
Could potentially. It might have been better against the Noivern because it would be faster in it. Although Shadow Ball, I don't know, it's going to be close, Scorp.
Yep.
Haunter's not quite as strong as Gengar, but it is still fairly strong for its...
It is fairly strong. Terra Ghost Haunter is one of my absolute favorite Pokemon to use in like the lowest
115 base special attack.
Yep, Terra Ghost boosted Shadow Ball here. This is the first time I think I've seen Haunter Terrasalash for H.I.M. And we're going to see the Shadow Ball come off, and it is not quite enough to take out the Entei here. I nearly said Gouging Fire there, but it's not quite enough to take out the Entei, and that's so unfortunate for H.I.M. because I feel like that could have actually
I wonder if that was a roll.
Oh, it might have been. I feel like he could have actually, that could have been it for H.I.M. I feel like he could have actually endgame with that.
Yeah, because from there, I mean, all you have left is the Noivern and the Virizion, and you can save the... I forget, did they have ice coverage on the Haunter?
No, they had
Oh.
Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball, Giga Drain, and Trick.
Okay. Well, either way, oh, they still have Zebstrika too. I forgot that.
Why did that fake off do half?
It's a Zebstrika Scorp. It's weak. It's Silk Scarf boosted.
I know it is. Is Zebstrika actually that weak defensively? I actually can't remember this thing's stats for the life of me.
You know, as someone who drafted it and didn't use it once, I can tell you it is weak. 63 defense score.
Oh god, that's not a lot. So that despite mono electric typing only packing one weakness, those stats are not doing any wonders for you. As yep, close combat will be enough. It's still gonna be forced to eat a discharge, but luckily for H.I.M, no paras, as Tauros will be able to slug it out against this Substriker and take it out with a close combat.
Yep, but the Noivern is in once again, and now all they have left is this and Ambipom, unfortunately.
Yep. You know, as strong as that fake out is, as much as I literally just laughed my ass off about it, I don't unfortunately think it's going to be able to KO this Noivern from this range. And especially now that we are switching into the Noivern with a critical hit, yeah, I think this Noivern's got the end game here, unfortunately.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, you do have the fake out potential, but I feel like Noivern could probably live it. Yep, there it goes.
Yeah, there's no way it doesn't live that. There you go.
Yeah.
Alright, gonna switch into the Tauros now. Intimidate not gonna do anything. Yeah, Dragon Pulse comes off. Obviously, there's no priority on deck for this Tauros here. We're gonna be able to come back in with the fake out here. Nice. Honestly, I didn't even realize that he could just switch out and get back in. So he will be able to get for another fake out. But unfortunately, Arcanine does have like the option to just either revenge kill this thing with something else or sack off another piece to the Ambipom and then come back in, knowing that the fake out won't be online anymore and then finish it off. Yeah, but that's what he's gonna do.
Because that into Virizion could be trying to bank on the fact that maybe one of these triple axles misses, but lands both and takes out the Virizion.
Yep, fortunately, founder of the Leaf Age is going to be taken down there, but that does put another opponent on the board for H.I.M. But yep, Arcanine are going to do exactly what I said. He realized that it was just going to be an end game here. I love how Fake Out is nearly like halfway out of its PP. Like that's how many times it came in. But yeah, Boomber's going to finish off the Ambipom here, and that is game. But great game for both of these gentlemen here. I love the... Like, I think these players were both really sort of feeling each other out and trying to go for reach on each other. So that was actually really cool to see. GG's.
Yeah, phenomenal gameplay here, GG. All right, so the last game that we didn't, we weren't able to see, was Zeus versus DRVR, and DRVR actually managed to pick up the kill. We can see here Luxray got one more kill out of the game, but not quite another sweep.
Yep. Indeed, it did look like Zeus definitely brought his A game here. I think these are some of his strongest Pokemon on there. He did bring both of his Terra Captains as well. It was a very close game, and I also like the fact that once again we see the transactions coming through for DRVR. We have the Cramorant, which I believe came off the bench for the first time this week, and I don't know if he's used Abominable before either. Might have come off the bench last week, but yeah, definitely both teams bringing their A games here, I think, and yeah, gonna be able to. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to watch this game, but it did look like a really good one. So yeah, good, good on DRVR. That definitely keeps the dream for him of the playoffs run alive.
Yeah, DRVR I think making use of like the Flygon and the Tauros, which are quite fairly speedy and making compared to Zeus's team, which I don't think he didn't bring the Entei. I don't know, he doesn't have Entei anymore, but he doesn't have a Pokemon over base 100.
Brother, we just watched Entei.
Listen, he had Entei at one point, and I forgot he traded it.
He did. I don't blame you at all. No worries.
All right, but let's take a look at our standings over here. So, as we can see, Cody's still undefeated as of this moment. And we can see Pokemaster and Lazyboi right underneath him. We've also got Al, Kingbura, and Anna all at 4-2 currently. And Brandon Arcaniner, Captain B-Nard and Zeus, all with a 3-3 record. They're really just battling out. Oh, Stefan! I can't forget to Stefan. They're all there 3-3, flagging it out for playoffs.
5 coaches with 3-3. Oh dear, this is a bloodbath for playoffs right here, ladies and gentlemen. Although interestingly enough, Brandon actually like quite far ahead of the rest when it comes to differential here, being at +3, whereas the others are all in the negatives.
Yes, he's gonna have to keep it up though, because I don't know if I'm spoiling too much, but I just know that his last 2 weeks are going to be the toughest of the season almost.
Yep.
All right, and so with that, we can take a look at our... once again, we had our analyst Beardo run the numbers over here. So, according to the math, I don't know, but I know that for sure Cody 6 wins, 0 losses. He's locked in for playoffs. But apparently, Pokemaster and Lazyboi are locked in almost.
Yeah, no, if Cody like loses this last three remaining games 6-0, he's still going to be at a 6-3 record with a +7 differential. So there's no way he doesn't make it.
No way. And then as we see, I mean, we got Al, Kingbura, and Anna, all fairly high percentages there. But then look at this. We got Brandon, B-Nard, Stefan. Zeus fell quite a bit from where he was last time, down to 36%. And Arcaniner, because that last victory, is now up to 29%. So it's among these guys here that it's really just going to come down to these last games. Who's going to make it?
Seeing a bit of I don't know why, but I still, obviously we have a 9-week regular season as opposed to 8 back then, but this kind of, in a weird way, reminds me a little bit of the many-way tie we had in season 2. Obviously not going to be quite 9 people with the same record,
right?
But it is still absolutely like all these coaches 3-3, like just one loss or one win really sets you on the right path or the wrong path here from this point onwards.
Yes, well, we still got 3 weeks of battles left after this, so I think that we're going to see them start to work out the numbers one way or another. We'll see what happens.
Yep. Like, at least the pressure's on that. It's kind of like this sort of best-of-3 scenario where you need to win more than you lose, So.
Yep, so for sure. Any games with Brandon, B-Nard, Stefan, Zeus, and Arcanine, those are going to be the ones you're going to want to tune into for sure. And I mean, DRVR, 9.7%, they went up a bit thanks to that dub over Zeus. So, I mean, pay attention to them as well.
Absolutely. I've always thought very highly of DRVR as a coach. I think he's a sick player, so don't give up, buddy. I'm literally still rooting for you to get in playoffs. Make it happen.
Yes, there we go. So now let's take a look over here at the kill leaderboard. This Noivern's catching up, Scorp. This Noivern's catching up to this Luxray. Like we've been saying, the Specs Noivern's been putting in work for Arcaniner, so he's got to watch back.
Absolutely. Although we should absolutely mention, again, we said it in the battle too, it is definitely also Arcaniner's skill and ability to manage this Noivern. Because again, he's been playing it so aggressively, just keeping the hazards off with that Donphan. That's why he wanted it in round 1. And, keeping it off so he can abuse the specs and catching all the steel types coming in with Flamethrower here. Even at the start of the season, he, talked to me about why he wanted to pick up Donphan, and it was really for an enabler like this Noivern. We're seeing it, so I'm just a really big fan of how he basically planned this all out and is piloting it to perfection. So yeah, great job from Arcaniner. I love seeing Noivern up this high.
Yes, and Brandon Skeletor is also doing very well. We got Alice Duraludon. Lazyboi has 2 Pokemon up here. So he started off really strong with the Florges, but now he's kind of transitioned into using the Earthworm more for his kills.
Yep, and the Crocodile's right below us. He's got 3 of them, in fact.
Oh, I didn't even see the Crocodile. Oh, jeez.
Yep, so you can see which 3 Pokemon are the favorites here, but I find it really, really interesting how this Earthworm, again, he's been kind of using it as this checkmate against physical attackers, and it's really, really been putting in the work. 8-2 is very, very impressive at this point. And, obviously Crocodile is doing very, very well itself, but if anything, I'm just surprised not to see the Volcanion here, because I feel like that thing's,
Yeah, I would have expected that to do a lot better. I don't know why. It seems like, it comes in and it takes the hits, but I guess because of its speed, it just it doesn't have the longevity, I guess, of Earthworm.
Yeah, I feel like Lazyboi's been putting up pressure with it and punching holes, but Volcano's not the one capitalizing on the punched holes, so it doesn't actually get that many kills.
Yes, indeed. And so with that, let's check in on our transactions. Are these the last transactions of the season, right?
Yes, and there is a lot of Terra transactions, so you know what, while you talk about these, I'm going to exit the slide real quick and grab the Terra type changes so we can discuss those a little bit more in detail.
Great, yes. We've got the trades here from Lazyboi, swapping out one poison for another, as well as Electrike, upgrading it to an Arbok. So, got the Intimidate on there, you got Sucker Punch and Coil Sets and things like that. And actually moving the Terra from Meowstic to the Arbok, so putting a lot of their coins on Arbok. And
we did just see it in this previous game that we saw the Meowstic terrestrializing again. He does still have the Meowstic, but Arbok is now his new Terra captain with Dark, Grass, and Ground as its Terra type. So I think very highly of Arbok as a Terra captain, so I'll be interested to see what he does with it.
And all the other ones are basically just Terra transactions. So what are we looking at here for these other guys?
So for B-Nard, we're looking into Terra changes for both of the Berserker and the Probopass using up his last 2 Terra transactions. We're going to see the Berserker now with Fairy, Ground, and Water, which I think is very interesting. Although no Steel. I'm a little bit surprised to not see Steel. Obviously, Terra Steel, Iron Head, Tough Claws boosted. Could have been very scary, but I feel like B-Nard, the way he's been piloting it, could be useful for more defensive Berserker sets. So I like them. They're good defensive Terras. And then on Probopass, I really like these changes, honestly. These were the exact Terra types that I would have chosen. We see Ghost, Grass, and Fighting on Probopass.
Yep, all very solid.
Yep. And then from that moment on, we're also going to see, I don't know if you saw this, Emerald, but we were having a whole conversation about the Terra type of Stellar and how it's able to be used against opposing Terra captains, and also, talking about the little role we have. Unfortunately, that was claimed by me last season, which I've only just given myself.
Yeah, I really thought, I thought it would be every season it was up for grabs. I didn't realize it was just the one season.
Oh no, it was a one-time thing, brother. But like we sort of kept it going, but no, we unfortunately have someone claim it now. But still, I really love the hubris from Brandon, or like the sort of commitment to using Terra Stellar. Could definitely endgame some people with that. Obviously, it has a contrary as well, and he still has 2 other good Terra types. So it's not like he's locked into that alone. But yeah, if I was using Lurantis, I would have absolutely put Terra Stellar on it. So I think this is actually a really good move.
Kind of a counter to any other Terras as well, with the Terra Stellar, Terra Blast against them.
Yep, indeed. And then we have the 2 final Terra transactions. First of all, we have Kingbura changing the Cryogana to Water, Steel, Electric. Not big deal there, but we are removing Ice from it, so we're going to change 1 offensive Terra type for defensive, which I think was a good play. And my god, I've been waiting for this all season. Frickin' finally, Danger Dave putting Terra Rock on this Bombardier. I've wanted to see that since the frickin' power rankings. Finally, thank you, Danger Dave.
He got it just in time. In time.
He literally posted this like a few hours before the transactions were closed. But yeah, the Bombardier now, if I'm not too mistaken, has Rock, Water, and Fairy as Terra types, which I think is beautiful. And I'm really interested to see if it's going to be able to get some rocky payload action going. But yeah, great Terra transactions from the coaches here, I think.
Yep, and with that, the teams are now locked in place.
Yep, no more transactions, so the teams are locked, and we're going to see what they've got from here on out.
Yeah, so week 7 here, we've got Arcaniner versus Zeus. Like we said, both 2 coaches that is going to be very important what happens for playoffs. Cody versus H.I.M. We'll see if Cody can keep his undefeated streak. Anna versus DRVR, again, important for playoffs. We got Aprater versus Kingbura. We'll see if Aprater can manage to knock off Kingbura there. B-Nard versus Pokemaster, important game. Al versus Lazyboi. I mean, we got some fire games here, Scorp.
Absolutely. I'm very much looking forward to these last 2 you mentioned. B-Nard versus Chris and Abomination versus Lazyboi. Former 2 definitely both contending for playoffs here, and also just 2 big BHDL veterans in general. And then Al versus Lazyboi, well, again, 2 other coaches that have participated with us here a lot, and also quite high up the standings here. So we'll see how this plays out. And yeah, Fournaubyl versus Danger Dave also going to be an interesting one, because these obviously 2 newcomers to the BHDL, but we've definitely seen that they can cook with their set. So I have a feeling we might see another
it's going to be a fire game, very entertaining.
Absolutely here. So
but one of the most important games this week is going to be Brandon versus Stefan, to really see who's going to put themselves in a good position for the last 2 weeks of playoffs.
Absolutely. And I don't know how many times these 2 people have fought in the past. I don't know what the record is, so it'll be interesting to see who takes it this time.
I'm not sure, but I'm glad that we will be able to catch it on film, assuming Brandon doesn't lose storage on his PC.
Indeed. Looks like we're only going to have, just like this week, it looks like we're going to have 7 out of 8 games on footage. So hope you guys look forward to the next week's recap as well.
Yes, indeed. And with that, we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Peace.